Good evening, Technosphere. And I'm not sure if this I'm not sure if this is an episode of Virtually Buddha or not. So I thought I'd put on the cat ears just in case it turned into that. And I'm live streaming because I've had such a fantastic day. And the thing about today was when I got up, it was threatening to be a penny jar day. I don't know if you people are familiar with a penny jar day and what that entails. But if you know me personally, you probably are. And you'll know that penny jar days come around when you're like hitting rock bottom. And so that's what it was like this morning. Then I had to go on a journey first thing in the morning because I'd lunched my tobacco out somewhere and I had to go and get it. And well, the day turned into a foot treatment and extraordinarily pleasurable time with my sister-in, and then I came home and painted my nails. Do you see that? Silver nails. And then I am now sitting here with a gin and tonic and a spliff, wearing Ghost. If you don't know what Ghost is, Google it. And the thing about this is that the longer I practice Buddhism for, well, I don't consider myself to practice Buddhism anymore because Buddhism doesn't actually exist. But the longer I commit myself to my journey as what I'm now calling a seeker of the way, and I'm beginning to think that it might be called a seeker of the way because you can't find it. Because I am seeking the motherfucking way. And it's very obscure. And I'm quite pernickety when it comes to facts, and I want to have things detailed properly, and attempts to have Buddhism detailed properly are thwarted at the outset. The source material is very, very, very sketchy. Anyway, so in spite of the struggles of actually getting any decent source material, the more I try and the more I commit myself to this process, no fucking matter what, the more I am able to see and experience benefits that are not related to the dominant understanding of what is successful and beneficial. And whilst I've completely come unstuck from the organisation that I supported for 25 years, and that's been a thing, that's been a journey, I haven't come unstuck at any point in the journey from the desire to propagate and understand the doctrine and discipline outlined by Siddhartha quite some time ago. And because of what I'm like and who I am, my life has been quite extreme, and some extreme shit really goes down a lot. And several times I find myself properly up against it, and I am now. However, what I find is that when I'm able to just have a nice day anyway, regardless of the shitstorm that I'm in, then I am surrounded and supported by the universe in various forms of humans and incidences and happenings that coincide to result in my circumstances being quite favourable in spite of initial appearances. So this leads me to conclude, given my dare I say it, high life state, given my resilience to negative occurrences, and I'm not saying I don't feel it, I'm not saying I'm not loath to lose the plot just because I don't get fucked up. What I am saying is I'm landing on my feet and my heart is okay, and I'm also not having to capitulate my politics. So my journey as a seeker of the way may have been stormy, and it may be currently a bit like a bit of a one-woman show, but it is demonstrated to me time and time again that even though I haven't got a fucking clue what I'm doing or how I should be doing it, the very fact that I'm trying to do it and trying to make some sense of it results in tangible benefits in my life, which strikes me as quite coincidental because I was just reading a sutra which was about the benefits of the life of an ascetic, and Siddhartha and his gang were all about going forth and away from family life and living an awakened life away from family life, because family life and the dailiness was considered to be a hindrance and got in the way. So his entire instruction booklet, well, it wasn't a booklet, it was a fucking tome, his entire instruction manual is aimed at those who have what he calls gone forth from family life and are wandering around homeless in India, living the life of an ascetic. And he's talking about the benefits of that. You know, everything he said is about doing that. Now, obviously, I'm not going forth. I'm sitting on my sofa in my house. I'm not going to go forth from anything. I'm fully intending to stay in where my family is, and going forth isn't in it. So it occurs to me that those of us who are attempting to employ Siddhartha's methodologies of life are acting in contradiction to his basic premise. And the fact that we're acting in contradiction to his basic premise, i.e. that we're going to want to go forth, that going forth is a thing that's going to be relevant in our lives, that might account for some of the difficulties in applying his teaching to the ordinary daily life of a person who is not gone forth and about to live the life of an ascetic. But it doesn't mean they're not applicable at all. It means that you might have to do some investigation into how to apply it differently. And Nisrin did that investigation, and he was quite good at it, and he did come up with a method of how to do it differently. And but he didn't really address that. What he was doing was advising people in secular life how to utilize the spiritual tools of aesthetics in order to facilitate their ordinary lives. And I've just thought of that. And now that I think of it, it occurs to me that this is a massive oversight. Understandable. Because by the time he got hold of Siddhartha's teachings, they were entrenched in institutionalized organizations, and therefore he was kind of in the paradigm that that's my cat, she's hunted a ball of wool. He was entrenched in a paradigm that required schools of thinking, a sectarian paradigm. So he was coming at it from that perspective. And having pondered away for quite some time, I, on an experiential level, get the Nisrin thing, and I have found it to be effective in my life, and I still do it. Go cat! Excuse my cat. And the thing that I've identified is that we are too global for sectarianism now. Globalize anything, it is not going to be an effective methodology unless it's something that is ubiquitously applicable. And anything that isn't globally applicable is dead in the water. So, given this understanding, and also the understanding that any universal truth must be explicable in any given language, and any universal truth can be expressed in any number of ways, and that it's not the language or the methodology of expression that is of consequence, it is the intent. So, what is required in order to facilitate a global understanding of an absolute truth is a concept that can be translated into any language, and a practice that can be fulfilled in a range of different ways. So therefore, any meaningful attempt to promote universal enlightenment needs to have a universality of expression that is demonstrable through an individual experience. Meaning that any individual needs to be able to express the principle in question in a language that is explicable to them, and using a methodology or a practicality that is comfortable in their life. Added to this, there needs to be an acceptance and an embracing of different methodologies of expressing the same ideal. And then we can all move forward. Thoughts on a postcard, please. No one's going to send me any thoughts on a postcard. No one gives a shit. Except me. I don't care that no one gives a shit. Because I give a shit. And I'm talking to myself. So it doesn't matter.